You're back there. So just, you got an eye on it. So remember the time that we're starting at. We'll go through our intro for whatever's happening, blah, blah, blah. I'll pour this in, we'll light it up, and then just mark that time when I say ignition. Cool. We're at 12? What time's that?
Yeah, 12.
12, spot on? Or?
12.
Alright, so then I'll do a little bit of intro for people who are just tuning in so they have more time to get there. I'll repeat kind of what I just went over for our first group. And I'll kind of vaguely stand here so they can. So, welcome to the department. Congratulations to everyone who just graduated here. We're setting up a Christmas tree fire as a safety demonstration that we've done for the last few years to try to demonstrate the importance of keeping your tree well watered. So this one, so we're definitely going to need that door closed before we're here. I'm going to scoot you guys at least behind the camera line so that we're not that close. And once that door is closed, we'll be okay. But there's like a weird piece of metal there, you gotta slide that out and then close the whole thing. We should be fine. We've set up these demos for years. We've taken safety precautions to keep anything away from the tree that might burn. We've got a big old exhaust hood that's gonna suck most of the stuff out of here. If something does go wrong, if you lose power, if the hood goes down, if something falls, whatever, we're not fighting this tree. We're just gonna calmly walk out the exits and we're gonna be okay. But for the most part, you're going to see a rather large fire here. You'll feel it from where you're standing. It's gonna get nice and warm. It's gonna happen pretty quickly. We need that door closed. If we are too packed in here, I'm doing another one in an hour, but either scoot all the way down up top here, or we'll just have to ask that you wait for the next one, but that door should stay closed. And so we're doing these as our fire safety demos. We're showing you please keep your tree well watered. And then on the side, we also organize a competition. Hello everyone who's joining us for that, where we send out an invitation to fire research labs around the country and around the world to say, hey, this is our tree, here's how we're igniting it, can you predict that fire size and that fire growth behavior? And then we gather all those predictions, we light it up, we compare it at the end of the day, and the best group prediction from the best lab will win a golden pine cone for that. So we also have a bunch of pans that are set up here to help us measure a firebrand yield. So we gotta stop opening that door. At this point, we're just gonna keep it closed and then they're done. I'm sorry, but they can catch the next one. But the door right behind you that you're standing in the doorway of, that door needs to be closed. Got that. That was like one thing. Door closed.
Movie story. Okay.
Can we close the outside door so people stop rolling in?
No.
Like the outside one that's being propped open that's normally locked? Do ahead, Kyle. It's 40 there. Michael, technically it's 49, right, for occupancy on our way out? We're close to that.
Isaac,
Yeah.
let me just go outside and make sure.
Just close the door that's locked and then they can't keep coming in. It's propped open right now though, and that should stay.
One of the comments is wear your gloves.
You know, they're right. I should have them, but I don't. Alright, so we're mostly set. Nike got the hoods for us. So just turn this on once you see the trees going. Jimmy, you're set over there with timer and everything? Right on. Alright, so we've got some heptane. I'm going to pour it and start a small fire under a tree. We'll light that up and then I'll step out of the way. And know that it will be warm where you're standing. Y'all good to go? Sean, you still recording on everything? Let's go. Ignition.
measurements of the mass loss. They're going to convert that roughly to the heat release rate, or how much energy was released during the very peak at a rate. So usually in this hood we should have about a megawatt, though it can peak a little bit higher. So that's about a love seat. So Isaac was estimating a little more than 2.5 megawatts. Any Fire D students have predictions of the peak?
1.5.
Huh?
1.5.
1.5? 2.5? 3 megawatts. Huh? 2.3. 2.9. Can you show me the derivation for us? Class is over. They're going to crank the numbers real quick while we wait here. Did everyone hear what was going on with all these water pans? No? Okay. It's actually not to prevent anyone downstairs. So this year, there is an ongoing project. So Isaac is one of our graduates. He works at NIST. Hadi here is a postdoctoral scholar with me. And we have an ongoing project with NIST looking at ember generation. And so one of the big questions that NIST has for their model is how many embers are generated from a burning object. And so we have a small scale apparatus where we're carefully doing all this, but Isaac came up with the idea, as long as we're doing these trees, why don't we collect it as well? Because we're going to do the experiments on samples of these Doug fir and balsam fir and other trees as well. So this is an opportunity. They'll take all of these pans with all of those different embers, the little flying parts, and they'll collect them, they'll dry them out, and they'll weigh them, and they'll size them to see how much of that tree actually became that, and how much was sucked up and flew away. Well?
Alright, so we peaked just over 3.5.
Over 3.5? Wow, that was a bit much for this hood. So who had the highest guess?
3, right?
3! Congratulations! Now, but that's not all, because if you didn't already see, there's an online competition. I think Randy made the tool, right?
No, I wrote that.
Never mind. Isaac wrote, of course, Isaac's done everything. So Isaac wrote a cool little app you can do online if you look up this Christmas tree competition and predict not just the peak heat release rate, but also the lead up time, as well as the duration of how long it takes to decay, to put in those 3 parameters and try to predict. And whichever fire group, whether it's here in Maryland, I think last year University of Queensland won, and there's a golden pine cone that they share around, and Isaac's helped organize that for the group that predicts the heat release rate of the tree. So they give some characteristics of the tree, but to be honest, like all wildfire studies that I'm doing, it's pretty hard to predict. Every tree is a little bit different, every ignition is a little bit different, but it's a fun contest where you can put some of your engineering skills to use. All right, anything else, Isaac?
No, that's about it. You guys got it.
Okay.